companies, cultivating winning workplace cultures, and fostering economic growth. She holds 2 degrees and has a lean Six Sigma Black Belt certification. In other words, don't start none, won't be none. She loves volunteering and is committed to promoting youth advocacy, mentorship, and wellness for families. In her spare time, she enjoys spending it with her husband, former NFL player Damon Watts, who retired from the Indianapolis Colts. Would you please clap your hands and welcome to this stage, Miss Dawn Watts.
Just want to make sure this mic is on. Thank you all for being here today, everyone. It's such an honor to be surrounded by so many inspiring women. Women who are shaping the future, lifting communities, and creating lasting change. Today's theme, You Are the One, isn't just a statement of empowerment, but a declaration of truth. Because each one of us, in our own unique way, is positioned to impact our families, our communities, and even our generational legacy. We are the ones who can build wealth, not just in material terms, but in wisdom, opportunity, and also resilience. You are the one. This is a purposeful testimony about building generational wealth together. So I'd like to share with you a story about love and tragedy and the journey to breaking generational curses. It's about a woman who was born into adversity, but found strength in the spaces between 2 very different worlds. My story actually begins back in the Midwest, in a poverty-stricken city called East St. Louis, Illinois. In this city is where I was born and raised. My mother was struggling with drug and alcohol abuse. As she would tell it, she went into labor sitting on the bathroom toilet, smoking a Benson Hedges menthol cigarette and a Colt 45 beer. And then here I come into the world. So even before I took my first breath, the odds were stacked against me. Weighing in at just less than 2 pounds, I entered this world very small and fragile, with a fight for survival already etched into my fate. My parents were never married, and after I was born, my mom actually left to start another family with someone else. My father actually lived in what we called the suburbs. Here on the screen, you'll see St. Louis, Missouri, and over to the right here is East St. Louis, Illinois. Separated between 2 states and the Mississippi River, I was born into poverty. And so yet everywhere I went, I didn't quite fit in. I was always questioned, where was my mom? Why did I look different? Where was I from? And although those questions really stung me, it was my dad's unwavering love that really helped me get through tough times. But when I grew older, I started realizing that the 2 worlds, as separate as they are, where I grew up in a white privileged area, going to an all-girls school, where I was only one of 12 Black kids in the school in Webster Groves, Missouri. And then here in the poverty-stricken East St. Louis, Illinois, where my mom was from, I visited every week. I started realizing how separate the worlds were and how uniquely different they were. I was the bridge between 2 cultures, 2 communities, and 2 realities. And in that intersection is where I actually found my strength. Navigating these two worlds taught me how to be resilient. It showed me how to survive in spaces that didn't always welcome me. It made me adaptable and able to navigate in any room, any conversation, and any environment with grace. I learned to listen carefully, observe, and understand the nuances of both of these complex worlds. See, I know what it's like to go without a meal. I know what it's like to not have electricity. I know what it's like to worry about where you're going to walk, how you're going to walk to school without seeing a dead body. But I also know what it's like to go to a privileged school and live in wealth and go off to college and take summer vacations with my family and friends. So between those two worlds, I had to learn to find my voice in the space between them. With the stability of my father's white suburban household and the privilege of living in white America, while also battling the struggle of my mother's life in poverty, which both shaped me to be the woman that I am today. So I'd like to go just a little deeper and share something that's really personal about me. My family and I really understand the cycles of pain and how they shaped women before me. My mother, she was actually the strongest person I ever knew. When I was in 9th grade, she was hit by a train driving in a car that knocked her completely out of the vehicle. She was in critical care. She died twice. I watched God bring her back to life. In that moment, I knew that there was a reason for my birth. I knew that I was born on purpose. I knew that I was born to speak a testimony one day about the gifts that God gives each of us and how important it is to pay attention to those gifts. My mother was a survivor of gun violence. These articles are about her lying in her bed at home, sleeping and being shot by someone who was looking for my brother. She was shot in her home while sleeping with a double-barrel shotgun. The shotgun pellets damaged her brain, also gave her a collapsed lung. And yet she still survived. Again, another testimony to what God's gift of life really is about. Now, although my mother went through all of those times, my brother also was murdered and killed at the corner liquor store right around the corner from my mother's home. All of these things I witnessed well before my 20s even started. So at the end, even with my mother's strength, she still died just less than 2 years ago from stage 4 cancer. But before she passed, she asked me to start looking into our actual generational curses in our family. So I went and did a deep dive into ancestry. Through that process, I recognized very early that, and this is a picture of my mother and her mother and her mother and grandmother. And you'll see, the first thing I noticed was a slave document that I found with the county treasurer's office back in North Carolina, where my 4-time great-grandmother was actually gifted as a 6-year-old child to a family to have and to hold and to own as property at the age of 6. Through that, I recognized very early that all the women in my family died before they were even 50. My mother's life, like the lives of my grandmother and great-grandmother, were all marked by trauma. The absence of fathers and the generational weight of slavery left emotional scars, ones that shaped each generation of women in my family. But even though we carry that pain, I stand here as proof that those cycles can be broken. We don't have to let the past define us. We can transform it. Through forgiveness of me feeling as if my mom abandoned me, I was able to find healing. I asked God, I prayed that He would allow me to see her in the same way He viewed her. In that, I found such healing. I was able to break the cycles of women and trauma that haunted my family for generations. I took the pain that I inherited and turned it into power. I transformed my struggles into strength and my heartache into healing. It's a testament to the incredible power of love and forgiveness. I'm a survivor. I am a healer and a breaker of generational curses. Woo! Our past may shape us, but it doesn't control our future. We have the power to break free. We have the power to heal and to create new legacies. We can overcome the challenges of our past and build a future full of hope and possibility. Even despite the challenges of my upbringing, I was determined to rise above and make sure that I built a future for myself and for my family. I didn't want to be walking around with strongholds, hating every single facet of my childhood, walking around worrying about the inner child and how I would survive in this world. So, through hard work and the unwavering faith I have in God and support of my family, I managed to finish my degree, go to school, get a great education, get my master's, and had a very successful 25-year corporate executive career. I did things that I just never thought I was even capable of. And through that, I was able to start my own business. I moved here to South Florida 15 years ago. I moved here with literally my driver's license in my back pocket, no luggage, no car, a 425 credit score, and a 15-year-old daughter in tow. There is nothing that will hold you back from doing the things that are important to you. No matter how horrible your past may be, you define your life. You are the one. You are the one who can break generational curses for you and your family and generations to come. So, I'd like to transition and talk about how to understand generational wealth. We have a lot of beautiful people in this room today, and we're always talking about small businesses, mentorship, entrepreneurship, and how can we create generational wealth. Well, as a champion for small businesses, I know what it's like to start from nothing. I have helped countless women in this community build businesses, develop business plans, secure funding, and navigate an often complex world of entrepreneurship. And through mentorship, I not only help these women, but my goal is to help them build generational wealth so they can create a future for their families. Many people think of wealth in terms of money, and yeah, that's a part of it. But true wealth is just so much more. Generational wealth is about creating systems, mindsets, and structures that allow the next generation to thrive. It's about laying a foundation today that will ensure our youth have more opportunities than we do. Because of far too long, women and women of color have been excluded from the traditional avenues of building generational wealth. But let me tell you something, we're here to change that narrative. We are the entrepreneurs that are building businesses that'll stand the test of time. We are the advocates that are ensuring access to affordable housing, health care, and education in our communities. We're the mentors showing the next generation of women how to navigate paths of success. And by doing this, we're planting seeds that'll bear fruit for generations to come. But we don't do this work alone. We have people like Mayor Brunson. Mayor Brunson was the first person who reached out to me when I started my business and said, come mentor my girls. Come talk to Precision Mentoring. She gave me an opportunity to shine a light on topics that I didn't even know were important and needed at the time. There are countless women in our community who are already making strides in areas like housing, small business, and advocacy, and they inspire all of us to push further. I'd like to highlight a few of those women today. Marcia Berry Smith. She is a force in the world of housing. Yes. And if you don't know her, you better know her today. She has helped so many people in Broward County get a home. That is the key to generational wealth. So, she's worked tirelessly to ensure that women and families in underserved communities have access to affordable and safe housing. And her work is not only about shelter, but it's about giving people the dignity and stability that a home represents. We thank you, Ms. Marcy. Lynn Finster Smith. Lynn Finster Smith, she's an author of Edge Jumper. If you guys don't know the book, you definitely want to read it. Let her tell you all about how former Governor Andrew Cuomo tried to steal her bank from her. She's an author and a former bank owner, and she's dedicated years to providing opportunities for financial empowerment. Her bank programs have helped countless individuals, particularly women from marginalized communities. She helped secure homes and helped them start their business. She spent her entire career ensuring that women, especially those that have been often overlooked, have access to the resources and opportunities that they need to thrive. These women are just some of the examples of what it really means for us to continue to pass the torch, to all of us to continue to do the work. Now, with that in mind, let's start talking about, as we close, the importance of mentorship and how it plays in building wealth and success for generations. I didn't have a mentor growing up. I think about all the time as I'm mentoring young girls in the school systems, what it would have meant for me and what my life would have looked like had I had a mentor. Someone who looked like me, who could understand me, who wasn't my mother or my aunt, but someone who actually took the time to just guide and help navigate my path through high school and college. Mentorship is such a key role. And the women that I just named, they're mentors. They've helped countless other women find their own success. So whether it's through financial education, business development, or personal growth, I think it's important that we must remember mentorship is one of the most powerful tools we have to create lasting change. It is through sharing knowledge, experience, and connections that we can help the next generation rise higher than we even thought possible. So to every woman here today, be a mentor, share your story, share your knowledge, and help someone else find their way. Because every time you do, you're investing in their future. You are the one. It starts with you. Remember, you are the one. You have the power to change your life, your family's lives, and the lives of every single person around you. So I'd like to end with this video.
Oh yes, baby, you might have got some trauma from your mama and your great-grandmother and your great-great-grandmother, but God sent me here to tell you tonight, stop tussling with her and serve somebody. Was she a drug addict? Go volunteer at the drug addict place. Was she mentally ill and homeless? Go volunteer at the homeless shelter. Go become a counselor and serve somebody. Was she poor? Go give to the poor. Was she alone? Go sit with somebody. Was she scared? Go hug somebody. Serve! The trauma in your own body will be healed if you do it. And when they ask you what you're doing here, say this word. I got it from my mama.